Poor Little Black Fellow by Langston Hughes. 7. "Come in," Grace Pemberton said. "Come in, Arnie. I want to talk to you." She was sitting there alone, very straight, with her iron-gray hair low on her neck. "Poor little black fellow," she said, as though Arnie had done a great and careless wrong. "Come here." When Arnie saw her pale white face from the door, he was a little sad and ashamed that he might have done something to hurt her. But when she began to pity him, poor little black fellow, a sudden anger shook him from head to foot. His eyes grew sultry and red, his spirit stubborn. "Arnold," she said, "I think we had better go home, back to America." "I don't want to go," he replied. "But you don't seem to appreciate what we are doing for you here," she said. "At all." "I don't," Arnie answered. "You don't!" Grace Pemberton's throat went dry. "You don't! We're showing you the best of Paris, and you don't? Why, we've done all we could for you. Always, Arnie boy. We've raised you as our own, and we want to do more. We're going to send you to college, of course, to Fisk this fall." "I don't want to go to Fisk," Arnie said. "What?" "No," said Arnie, "I don't want to go. It'll be like that camp in Boston. Everything in America's like that camp in Boston." His eyes grew redder. "Separate, segregated, shut off. Black people kept away from everybody else. I go to Fisk, my classmates, Harvard and Amherst and Yale. I sleep in the garage. You sleep in the house. Oh," Grace Pemberton said, "we didn't mean it like that." Arnie was being cruel, just cruel, she began in spite of herself to cry. "I don't want to go back home," Arnie went on. "I hate America." "But your father died for America," Grace Pemberton cried. "I guess he was a fool," said Arnie. The hall door opened. Mr. Pemberton and his sister-in-law came in from a walk through the park. They saw Mrs. Pemberton's eyes wet and Arnie's sultry face. Mrs. Pemberton told him what they'd said. "So you want to stay here," said Mr. Pemberton, trying to hold his temper. "Well, stay. Take your things and stay. Stay now. Get out. Go." Anger possessed him, fury against this ungrateful black boy who made his wife cry. Grace Pemberton never cried over anything Mr. Pemberton did, and now she was crying over this. This, in the back of his mind, was the word nigger. Arnie felt it. "I want to go," said Arnie. "I've always wanted to go." "You little black fool," said Emily. "Where will you go?" Grace Pemberton asked. Why, oh why, didn't Arnie say he was sorry, beg their pardon, and stay? He knew he could if he wanted to. "I'll go to VII," Arnie said. "VII?" a weak voice gasped. "Yes. Marry VII." "Marry White, eh?" said Mr. Pemberton. Emily laughed dryly, but Grace Pemberton fainted. Next door, just then, the piano was louder than ever. Somebody was doing a tap dance. The dancing and the music floated through the windows on the soft Paris air. Outside, the lights were a necklace of gold over the Champs-Élysées. Autos honked, trees rustled, people passed. Arnie went out, and that's the end.